Hello, I'm your host, David Newson, and welcome to Coded in Gold. This podcast explores the fractured, beautiful pieces of our modern life through compelling stories and conversations with exceptional individuals. Let's get started. Welcome. In today's episode, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Xanthe Wells. Xanthe is the Vice President of Global Creative at Pinterest. She has had a truly impressive career as a world-class marketer, heading campaigns we've all seen from Pepsi, Netflix, Mattel, and Google. I came into this interview as a fan of her work, hoping to learn more about the secrets of her success. This interview delivers on that hope, but Xanthe also surprised me with her generous vulnerability and honest conversation about difficult life transitions. I loved this conversation. So without further ado, here is Xanthe Wells. So I was deep diving last night and feel like I've learned a ton about you.
No.
And yes, and not in a creepy way, but everything that's publicly available, podcasts, right? Vodcasts, and what's really interesting, so you're fascinating.
Who are you?
Coming into this conversation, the legend that is Xanthe Wells, with what you do work-wise, yes, validate, check, love. I want this conversation to be Xanthe Wells, the human.
Okay.
One of the things that I love, in your headline on LinkedIn, right, it says mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, why is mom in the headline, right? That's an intentional choice.
Yeah.
I know for me, I really identify, I almost feel like it's my calling in life. It just feels like this. I love being a dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my other roles too, but that's one of the things that I love. And I also heard you on a podcast the other day. Someone was like, "Hey, what's the next chapter for you?" And your response was beautiful. You said, I might just give it all up and be a mom, right?
Yeah.
I just want to be around my kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so fleeting. Every time I'm around them, I think especially because I work so much, I'm kind of gazing, I'm just trying to soak it all in on such a visceral level because I just know how fast it's going and I adore them. They're these amazing creatures and my daughter she's just amazing. She's interested in all these different languages and Russian and cooking Russian food and learning about the world in ways that I never was. And, she's not, what I love also is that she's so different from me. It's starting to be having a roommate in a weird way that's way, way more worldly and interesting than you are. And you're like, so tell me more about what you I'm I know a lot about one particular part of the world and she's not interested in it, which is totally fine and great. I'm there's enough about me in the world, but learning who she is and watching her become who she is, she takes excellent care of herself. She, makes green tea every morning, with her little matcha, whisk from Japan.
Oh my gosh, that is one of my daily rituals.
Oh, really?
In fact, I was thinking today, maybe I overdid it because I had two.
Are you a little weird?
I'm like, what is it?
Jumping out of your skin, but it's all green. It's all good. So I don't know. I think, and my son is just the love. He's a cuddlehead and sweet and wonderful. And it just, it's I'm all or nothing. So when I'm with them, I'm with them completely. And I try to be 100% present. So I think in a way it's to signal to the world that I've got something else that's a high priority in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And also signal to myself, when I see that, and I'm like, that's right. Remember that, Xanthe. This is, you've got a really big job, and this will last way longer than these jobby jobs. It will be forming humans. And I think I've had to, it took me a while, I think, as a creative person to, almost submit to that, because kids take up, and they should, so much mental energy from the time they're born. And they demand so much. And when you love what you do, it's like a constant like, oh wait, I'm getting pulled into this. Wait, I love this, but I love this too. And so I think that that fight for my attention has been like it's been a real internal difficulty to navigate.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
you know,
Sure. I mean, I remember my CMO days. It was just I was constantly on the road,
yeah,
and working just insane hours, you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And they fight for it and they need it. And you have to constantly give it. And remember, that's the most important.
ages on kids. How
Oh,
old?
I've got a 13-year-old girl, 10-year-old boy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Xander just turned 7.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's
Okay.
starting second grade and he's
Oh,
quite excited
sweet.
about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. What does
Mhm.
he like to do? What's
Oh my
his
goodness. So this is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about
Yeah,
because he's a very bright kid
yeah.
and has this natural a few natural abilities, but one of them is drawing.
Oh, great.
And yeah, and so we got him an art teacher, and so all summer he goes a couple of times a week and meets with an art teacher, and she
Um,
sits him down and kind of like helps him. I'm not an artist, so
yeah,
like, but like, kind of how do you draw a circle? And it's like one,
yes.
two, three, four dots. This is how you
Yes.
draw a circle, right?
Great.
And then like, oh, and then we were in Washington D.C. recently, so he was like, "Oh, I want to draw the Capitol." And so she like, "Oh, let's put the picture on an easel, and this is let me you copy my strokes, how I'm
Um,
setting this, scene up." And he shows it to us, and I'm just like, "Wow, this is so cool,
oh my
right?" And
gosh.
then he goes through like a Lego phase, and he's drawing Lego stuff, and it's a Dog Man phase, which is like a
Yeah, I know
oh
Dogman.
oh.
At our house. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay, like there's creativity here, but like the language in the book, I'm just kind of like, come on, like
Yeah, I know.
really, I just like I don't want my kids saying this, right?
I know. I know.
But he
I
would
know.
like sketch out like almost like little comics, kind
Wow.
of similar to what I think it's Dave Pilkey's,
Yeah.
style. And I was just like, wow, this is super cool that he's like
Oh,
has
he's
this
brilliant.
interest and we're trying to
Yeah.
like fan the flames. And when I
Yes.
was looking into your background, you went to so he's also in a pre-K through 12 school. And I saw that you went to a pre-K through 12 school. And I was talking to friends like in the Bay Area and they were like, yeah, that's like a great school for like
Yeah.
gifted kids. And I wanted to ask you like about that experience.
Yeah.
What was that like and what kind of fanned the flames of your own creativity?
Yeah. I mean, I'm first of all, I'm so glad that your son draws because and that he's also wanting to draw the Capitol. Like that's incredible at second grade. I mean, that's amazing.
Well, he
Like
does
I
like he also likes to dress up. So like
Oh,
we were going around Washington D.C. and
yeah.
he wanted to wear like nice linen pants, a nice linen shirt with a linen um vest and a
Wow.
bow tie.
Oh my God, I love him.
Yeah, he was just going around. He was
God, he's so good. We need more of him in the world. That's so awesome. Have you heard of the books by David Macaulay called Castle and Cathedral? Um,
no, no.
okay, I'll send you he would love these. If he's interested in buildings and drawing buildings, there's some of the best books that I loved when I was his age. Um, but yeah, and actually kind of that's where I discovered them was at Nueva. Nueva is in Hillsborough here in California, and it is a school for gifted kids. I don't really like, talk about it that much because it sounds like weird to say it,
No,
but
no, yeah, I get it. I get it.
you
I
know,
totally get that. I was
yeah,
in a gifted program as a kid too, and
okay,
it kind of
yeah.
it
But
felt a little freaky some days.
yeah, it's exactly, exactly. But, when, my dad was a, engineer in Silicon Valley and really bright, and my mom is very kind of entrepreneurial, great with money and investing and all this, and I think from an early age, they saw that I was obsessed with drawing, and it was a way that I kind of dealt with the outside world. I think I processed things through drawing,
Oh,
and I drew voraciously from the time I could hold a pencil till, you know, really I stopped drawing as much frequently, in college. But um, anyway, I went there and they really fanned the flames because they saw it, and that was a big reason that I was admitted was the drawings were so advanced, and so they let me kind of have a track without saying it.
wow.
So I was able to spend a lot more time in art and they just developed that, and they let what they were great at is letting kids be what they were naturally versus trying to make them general purpose athletes, and saying this is actually a gift and it's special, and
Ah,
you don't have to be great at all the things. And then you go, and I went to a very traditional school. So my parents sort of panicked around fourth or fifth grade and said, "Wait, you don't know long division? Like,
yeah, totally.
oh my God, like the basics aren't happening." And New Wave is very different now. I mean, it's very academic in a traditional sense. But and then I went to an all girls school, a very kind of upper crust, very opposite school. Like you could not pick a more opposite school where girls were kind of like be quiet, be orderly,
Oh, wow.
sit at a desk, be very contained, and it was
Mm,
not a good school for me. I mean, I was like flipping out, running through the hallways, getting in trouble. And I did well at the school, but it just was not a good fit. And, um, that's what it was. And then I went to a great arts high school. So I kept, luckily my parents encouraged it. And I think that's rare because a lot of times when
sure.
kid shows a proclivity to art, they're like, that's nice as a hobby, but do this real thing that you're going to
For
get a real
sure.
job with. And luckily they were like, if you're the best at this, you will make money. Like, you just have to be the best. And I was like, okay. Well, I was like, I can do that. Like,
No expectations. I love
yeah.
it. I love
And
it.
seriously, I was like, that's fine. I'll do that because I like this so much. I'll figure out how to be the best at it.
Oh, that's
And,
great.
and that was kind of the motivation because I knew I wasn't going to be paid for after high school or after college. So I'm like, better figure this out. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so engineer dad, we share that. What type of engineer?
So he was Silicon Valley engineer. He designing chips.
Oh,
So he
okay.
worked on chips for VGA boards. So turning computers from green screen to color was one of the first chips
Oh my
he
gosh,
did
that's
it
awesome.
for Paradise Electronics, and he was part of three different companies that ended up selling. But he never wanted to be in management. He was very much like the principal engineer of a company.
Sure.
Did not want to deal with people. Introvert, genius. Like, please
Yeah,
leave.
wow, that's cool.
What did your dad do?
My dad was a nuclear engineer.
Oh,
So
okay.
like nuclear power, nuclear
Yeah.
reactors, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My
Well,
hometown in upstate New York had three
oh,
nuclear power stations in it.
really? Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Was he then 3 Mile Island? Was that in
Close by, but like 3 Mile Island was in Pennsylvania. We were upstate New York on Lake Ontario though, because they like to put them close to water
okay, right.
because they're
Okay.
kind of
Just in
sucking it
case.
in, cooling
Yeah.
things down, and then
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, right. Yeah. I to invest in nuclear energy, like Constellation Energy, really into the learning about clean and kind of putting money there. So,
Really?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
my mother worked for Constellation
oh,
Energy. They
really?
took over. They
Oh,
bought when I was a kid, it's called 9 Mile Point, but as a
uh-huh.
kid it was operated by a utility called Niagara Mohawk, and then Constellation Energy came in and bought one of the facilities.
Oh, interesting. They're
Yeah.
doing really well. I don't know if you're following
I'm
them.
not following them, but I'm
Yeah.
glad to learn that they are doing
Yeah.
well.
I mean, I just read this quote about AI, and it was kind of like, AI is the gold and energy is the shovel that will, you need. Oh,
That's absolutely true.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's a whole other
That's
conversation.
a whole other thing. What kind of schools do your kids go to, and what are their interests?
Yeah, so I'm still not sure they're in the right school. I would say it's a really, it's like the number eight public school in California or something crazy. It's a great school. Um, it's very math and science heavy, I would say, probably math. Luckily, my son is really good at math. My daughter is good at it. She's shown a lot of growth in it, but it's just not a creative inclined school.
Okay.
So it doesn't prize, English arts or history. It's just the bent is math and science, which is natural because all the parents are around me are
Sure.
engineers or VC.
Yeah, 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 no,
So
totally,
I'm like,
totally.
okay, numbers game. Like I understand.
It kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
I want to move into a little bit like the human behind your incredible career. And as I was prepping and listening, some folks are asking questions, but it's all coming back to like Xanthe, this creative, right? Which
Mm.
I don't want to divorce from who you are, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I know that there's already a lot out there.
yeah,
And so I really want to hone in on like, okay,
yeah,
like what happens behind the scenes? Do you get nervous before you get on stage, for
yeah,
example?
yeah,
What are your daily rituals? Like you
yeah.
said, your daughter does like the thing with matcha, like I do.
Right,
But like,
right.
do you have daily rituals, like as a human
Yeah,
being?
yeah. I wish I could say that I do.
I wish.
I'm very like I feel like I play a part in life in a career sense, and I'm probably the opposite of it. Like I'm very low key, relaxed, flopping on the couch, like just kind of I'm like, do I really have that job that I have or that career like it feels like two different people at work and at home in some ways.
Sure, I get that.
Because I'm so family focused when I'm home. Um, I'm I'm not like a super athlete executive, like, I don't wake up at 5 AM and row. I'm like, well, my wake up time is uneven. Sometimes it's 7 AM, sometimes it's 5 AM. Like, I don't have a strict schedule. Like,
Okay.
I just kinda go with the flow with things. I'm very intuitive, so I like to feel my way through a lot of things, and it's just based on signals that I'm getting every day versus structure and routine. I would say that it's very hard for me to structure things and know and, like, slot things in. I think, my 9 to 5 is very scheduled and structured, but in terms of creating, workout time or, these are still, like, major challenges. Like, I'm still like,
So
"Do I hire a personal trainer?" Like, "How do I do it?" And, like, ChatGPT it, and then ChatGPT tells me all the answers, and then I don't do the answers, and, like, I'm just kind of, like, feeling my way through life, and I think the career stuff and, like, it's like I don't know why, but, like, I can see balance, I can see harmony, I can see things that feels like a skill that is different from who I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of I don't know why I'm good at it. Sometimes I'm hearing myself talk and I'm like, how do you know how to say that?" Do you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like
Sure, yeah.
comes out of me and I'm not sure where it comes from or why. But then so I'm glad you're asking about the other side because it is definitely a whole other thing that's really unrelated in many ways, like, to what I do professionally. Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting that you say that. I find my husband would absolutely say the same thing about myself. Like he's
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh my gosh, at work you're so like everything is like on schedule, the trains are running, like
Yeah,
everything's go 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 go." And
yeah.
he's like, and then outside it's like you ask you a question and you're kind of like, "Huh? What?" Like
Totally, me too. Me too.
And then
Yeah,
he's like, "Okay," and when I was a CMO, we were having conversations like, is there a way to give just a little bit less so we can get a little bit more?
huh?
Right? And so there was those kind of
Yeah,
conversations. Now that I'm kind of having my own, well, I have my own gig now, my own firm,
yeah,
but I do love work. Like,
right,
and it is a role I gladly step into,
right.
occupy, enjoy, and love.
Yes,
But then there's that component of like, gosh, it takes a lot of my energy. It takes a lot
mhm,
of like, if I'm talking about, filling up two cups, like one definitely gets an outsized proportion of like the energy reservoir,
yes,
like goes there, right?
yes,
Oh, what did you say? You said, oh, I asked ChatGPT about my workout regimen. Me too. Same thing. And it's like, hey, David, you're 50. You have to work, you need to be drinking or eating a lot more protein, and you should probably be working on those major muscle groups so you don't like starting having muscle atrophy. And I'm like,
no,
I agree. I agree. So I started doing push-ups like in the
yeah,
morning and at night.
yeah,
And then it's like, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And it's like, not enough. I'm like, oh gosh.
not
Okay.
enough. I'm proud of you for doing it to begin with. I'm like, that's my goal.
But I do like I would like there's part of me maybe I should have a personal trainer, right?
Right,
Because like just because then it
yeah,
becomes I don't have to think about. I can
yes,
show up and someone says, "David, do blah blah
yes,
blah." Okay, great. I'll
yes,
do that now. I'll do
yeah.
this now. I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe we need to build that in. I just because 'cause I'm the same way, like, I think I give so much to my work that often I'm so depleted that I'm a space case with my kids. They're like, "Are you paying attention?" I'm like,
Totally.
and I'm, like, staring at the ceiling because 'cause I'm like I'm like, my RAM is full. Like
Totally.
I don't know how to get this onto an external hard drive. I would like to empty it and I can't.
Right.
So, like, it's just an ongoing battle. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like you guys are gonna have college paid for, but I might be a little spacey. So it's the price you pay, kids. So
Oh my goodness. As I was listening to various podcasts and vodcasts that you've been on, you kind of mentioned quickly where I was able to like, oh, okay, that answers a question that I have. Like, and you had mentioned on one that you are a single mom and that you had gone through a divorce. And I'm a kid of like
yeah.
divorce, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I've also had friends like go through, these are like
Yeah.
big life
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And like the name of this show, like Coated in Gold, is all about, it's based on kintsugi,
Yeah.
Japanese art form of like pottery gets broken, you
Yeah.
fill in the cracks with gold. And
Yeah.
I very much apply that to even my own life, right? Like there's been, what everyone sees on the surface is, oh, David Newson, he was a CMO, he's done this, he's done that, he's done all of these incredible, amazing things.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of things that have happened. There have been plenty of fractures, plenty of breaks over the course of my lifetime. That some I talk about on the show. Not, I haven't gone super deep, but like one of those things was like I was born and raised in a Mormon home. My
Yeah.
dad was a Mormon bishop. My mom was a stay-at-home. Gosh, what did they call them back in the day? Homemaker.
Yeah. Homemaker. That's
In
on
the
my
80s, it was like, yeah, she was a homemaker. And it wasn't until, my parents divorced and my dad, left
yeah.
that my mother suddenly had to go out into the workforce and support five children. She had five children and
Yeah.
had to make things work. But I also know that that moment in her life changed her
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was that like for you?
Yeah. Um, it's good that you're asking this because it is a big part of my life. Um, the moment itself was, as you can imagine, very hard. Um, because it was it kind of came about quickly and, in hindsight, I think I would have done it a little differently. Um, and it's not to say I don't think my ex and I are like really good friends, and he's still one of the most important people in my life. Like we see each other all the time. He comes and hangs out. We take care of the kids. We really co-parent. Like we're in contact all the time.
That's great.
We do, and it's probably 5 years since we decided to get a divorce. But you know, I think there was a little bit of impulsivity to it, which I regret, if I'm
Oh,
honest.
interesting. Okay.
And um, part of the intuitive feeling things out, I sometimes I read signals in a way that I'm so used to reading the signals and not rationally, logically thinking things through that I can intuitively make very big decisions. Like I've made hiring decisions, which I've regretted because I read the tea leaves wrong. Like I felt it, but
Right.
sometimes feeling it when you're
Right.
hiring can be tricky. And so, um, I think that, my daughter took it really hard. When we're together with the kids, it's still pretty magical. Like when we're around, we're all as a
Oh, that's
foursome.
wonderful. Yeah.
Like, it's something you can't describe, but they need, and so we do make a concerted effort to spend time together, and we enjoy it, and the kids are different, they're, like, open, and they have 2 people to bounce stuff off of that
Sure.
are just like them in many ways, and
Hmm.
so I would never get married again simply because it's a financial arrangement, and it's if I would have brought a briefcase to my wedding. I wouldn't have worn a white dress with a long
No, no,
Like, I missed that. I missed the plot completely that it was a financial arrangement. I am certainly happy. Like, I can't say that I don't
Yeah.
know, you don't know how it'll go, but, like, I don't think I knew what I was stepping into when I started the process. Um, so that was really hard. I think it was, my dad dying and when I was 25 and that going through that was difficult. Although I will say, so many people don't have great relationships with their exes or there's
That's true. That's the common thread. That's certainly a common
common
thread.
thread, and so
Yeah.
I think for us, like, I feel like I've landed the divorce, like and he's landed it too, he was upset, I was upset, it took us a couple years to kind of, like, get to a better place, and now I feel like it's, like, all I could ask for is the
Wow.
way that we did this and are navigating through it. But I didn't know that that would happen, and it's taken a lot of work, it's taken forgiveness, it's taken, taking one on the chin, it's taken,
Right.
accepting certain things that I can't change.
Mhm.
So I just kind of try to put it in perspective and that it's best for the kids and all of that. But it's certainly not easy, especially when you take so much pride in kind of building your own empire, building your
Sure.
own, you know, thing from nothing. So uh, that was definitely hard. It was a hard one. So, yeah.
What I love in that is, that you're still close.
Yeah.
That because I think for children especially, um, they may not have words, and I'm going back to my 9-year-old self, right? When it happened you might not have the words, but you know what you can still see, and you are still experiencing what is happening.
Yeah.
And my case was radically different than that, right? Like my dad then suddenly moved, to a completely different state, and like just went from him being around all the time to like nothing.
Wow.
And yeah, it was just tough, and
That's
it just really never resolved, right? And so
wow.
the beauty in your story is that there's this, yes, struggle between two adults, right? But then there's also this coming together for family
Yeah.
that I think is rare and
Yeah.
beautiful,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
shows that repair is possible too, I think for kids where the relationships seem much more transactional because they're
Mm,
little in person, and I was reading it, I think it was Ezra Klein even was talking about it, but
I
just
love
that
him, by the way.
oh, I love him. Can you go meet him and have him their dinner and I'm gonna come? Just
Yes, please, please.
uh,
Invite me, please.
I know. That's our homework. Go meet Ezra Klein.
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, I just like I think it's good that they see us supporting each other. Like Ethan's been there for me for some really difficult moments in the last couple years, probably last 8 years, as I navigated my career brand side. And he's just shown up at the most critical times in a way that, I will love him forever for those things.
Mm,
And the kids definitely see it. And I love that they never see us fight. They just see us
yeah.
for each other, and that's pretty powerful, and accept each other for who we are.
Well,
Like,
it's powerful and very special. Like I don't, you don't hear
not
stories like that every day. It's usually a story that has a lot more contention. Did divorce change you?
yeah, I would say it did. But, I will say there's a big part of me that's a loner, and that's been really positive, actually. And I really enjoy it. Like, I don't know that I wanna live with someone and spend all my time with someone when I'm not like,
Yeah.
it's been good for me. Like, I have weeks where I don't have the kids and I don't have anyone here, and I love it. Like,
Yeah, totally. You're allowed. You're
no,
allowed to love
so,
that.
like, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's a big positive. Um,
Wow.
so,
Yes.
yeah.
Are there any beliefs you've let go of recently?
I've had to learn not to trust people, which is very sad. I hate to say it, but I do think the majority of people will do everything they can to survive.
See, this is um I agree
You
with you.
yeah.
I've always been like an open book and a big heart,
Yeah,
like
me too.
just, and very intuitive, right? So like making decisions, business decisions even, right? And then also coming to regret some of them where you're like, okay, this is a great hire.
Yeah.
Everything looks great on paper. My gut is like
Yeah.
jumping up and down. There's a little kid inside saying, yes, yes, hire him, hire him, hire him. And then you hire him and it turns out like I heard you on another show recently say, you said you're not the type of leader that like takes a role and then like goes into recliner mode where you build up these systems and then hide behind them.
Yeah.
And that was exactly what had hired like what happened to me. I hired someone
Yeah.
like and they literally started building systems and things around them to
Yeah.
shield them so they could go into recliner mode. And I was like taken aback, like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like,
Right.
this is not how this works.
No,
Like, what are you
no,
doing?
no, you're supposed to do the thing, not
Do the thing. Like,
yeah.
that's what you're hired to do the actual thing, right?
Oh,
And that's why, like, even as a CMO,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that was not in my cards forever because I like the creative process and I like doing
Yes.
more than I like managing.
Yes. And like it's not something where it's like, well, Xanthe, like not, stay open and I'm like, no, I'm 47. Like I know how that, you know, and it's not like it changes my joy. It's just more of like, it's I think we're animals. And I think when at the end of the day, if an animal is pushed into a corner or feels threatened, they bite.
That's right.
And so
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, what do you expect? I just think people will do what they can to survive. And I don't blame them, but you don't come first when they're trying to survive.
Right.
Relationships, trust, confidence, all of that is out the window when people are threatened. And so I it's just a way to live now and I don't give myself away as much. And I don't I have to hold back. And so but I'm
Does the act of holding back
yeah.
weigh on you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm learning how to navigate this new reality because I have to constantly think about what are the implications of different things.
Oh
And as a
man.
person, like you are, where you're big-hearted, you're open, I'm generous, I'll give someone the shirt off my back. If I believe in someone, it's like there's no end to what I will do for them. But then I kind of have to hold back. So I'm learning to navigate that reality now of like, what does that look like? How does
Yeah.
that feel?
Oh yeah.
'Cause it's a different way of operating.
Oh, it's a
Because
very different way of operating.
you've
Yeah.
been jumping up and down as much,
Yeah.
or like you have to hear that in yourself and go, okay, but like, wait, just let it play out. Give it a year, like reserve judgment. Like I have to kind of not instinctually, especially with people because they're so much more than meets the eye. And I find that when people are by our age, manipulative, narcissistic, whatever toxic sort of trait,
Sure.
they're really good at it by now.
Oh
They're
yeah.
really good at it. And I get snowed. I'm like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's who you are." And so I get you that's the tricky part is like knowing that those things are around you and then just figuring out how you're gonna go about life and not be depressed about it.
Right. I've got one interesting story that will refute that, but it's also rare.
Mm.
So my husband and I have often had conversations where it's like, by the time somebody's about middle aged, you're kind of
Oh,
baked.
right,
Like
right.
you can't really
Yeah,
expect too much,
yeah.
change. Like it's all going to revert to the mean, right?
Yes.
Like it's just gonna like you're not changing.
Yeah.
And my mom surprised us, and I think I talked about this in another episode, but like my mom surprised me, when, we got married and she like showed up at City Hall in San Francisco, right? And like she's one of the folks that witnessed our marriage. Like she's on our marriage license.
Did you know she was gonna come, or was that a surprise?
Well, I wasn't gonna even we were just gonna elope. Like we
Yeah.
were in San Francisco. It was like, let's just go down to City Hall, marriage equality. We kind of like we got kind of like and I was like, yeah, let's go get married. We can get married, right? Like this is
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then I was talking to my sister about it, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. and I didn't even invite her, and she was like, are we gonna be invited, or like, what's the
Yeah.
deal here? And I'm like, oh, you can come. And she's like, are you gonna invite your mother? And I'm like, I wasn't like, I can't
Planning.
imagine my Mormon mother at my like me getting
Right.
married. I just like, I'm sorry. I don't, um, and she's like, well, I think you should actually like ask her before
Yeah.
you
Uh-huh.
like pass
Yeah.
judgment or whatever. And so
Yeah.
I asked, and she's like, oh, I'd love to be there.
Yeah.
And like my relationship with my mother has been actually over my course of my lifetime has been wonderful.
Yeah.
Count myself as very, very lucky.
Yeah.
But my mother has changed significantly
Yeah.
after the age of 65
Ah. Yeah.
in thought,
Yeah.
philosophies,
Great.
just like really the way that she and like the conversations that she and I have always been able to have.
Yeah.
Um, oh, it's kind of interesting. We're probably my mom and I are probably soulmates.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
get her. I know on so many levels she gets me.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I've
Yeah.
seen her grow even like, and now I think she's going to be 79 this year. And it's just like,
Wow.
she's still growing, and it's just really, really magical to watch and see.
Yes.
And then when my husband and I are having conversations about like the rest of the world, it's kind of like, yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
really careful.
Right. Right. Because I think there are very few examples of that
Few.
growth because people are so fearful of it. Like
Yeah.
it takes a lot of courage to continue to push into areas you don't know or be a student or like, be accountable for things or make
Right.
changes
That's
that
right. Like, oh, I thought this was how it was going to be. And oh, I've changed my mind,
yeah. Yeah.
even if it has implications in other parts of your life.
I
Right.
think the best thing that management has taught me is having a very loose self-concept because I'm always having to change. Like I'm always getting feedback. New leaders are like, "Oh, I got this like feedback from someone." And I'm like, "Welcome to every day of my life."
For
Someone
sure.
telling me to do something differently, and it's not personal, and you kind of like you divorce the personal from it more and more, so it's the ego's less wrapped up in the behaviors. It's like, and I find people are so often who have a hard time evolving are so locked into their own like self-concept of or concept of what their role is. It's like it is this, it is not anything else or whatever. And it's like, well, but who decided that? Why don't
Yeah.
you just think about it more creatively and like how could it be more expansive or meet a different need or people are like so try to hold on so tightly to control outcomes and like I find that the most limiting belief people have and that they slow their own advancement more than they know because they just can't break out of their own thought process about
Sure.
something. And
Yeah.
you can see it from the outside. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's like 6 degrees to the left and you'd be CEO, but okay. You tell me I'll do whatever you want. Okay. But it's cool that your my mom's a lot like that. She's just
Oh,
turned
that's
80
cool.
and she's amazing. I mean, she walks
Yeah.
4 miles a day. She's worldly. She's an amazing group of friends. She plays bridge all the time. She's
Yeah.
just mentally so active and
That's cool.
it's awesome. Like we're so lucky that we have moms like that.
This is true. This is
Like
true. It's a
so lucky.
gift. It's a
And
gift.
it's
Very lucky. It's a
also
gift.
for us as we get older. Like,
Uh-huh.
wow, look at how you can continue to change.
That's right.
So
Yeah. It's a
anyway,
great modeling of behavior for sure.
yeah.
Do you find you need to, in order to go fast, you have to go slow?
Mhm.
Like, in order to be creative, you need to return to a place, whatever your happy place is for that type of work.
Yeah.
Um, you said,
Yeah.
you like to be alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah.
have a similar trait. Like it's nothing better to me. There's no better like afternoon
Yeah.
than like me being by myself, even with my own thoughts.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't even have to be with a book. Like it
Oh,
could be with a book, or it could be with some, like Apple TV show or some, thing, right? Fine.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
I find that when I have a need,
Uh-huh.
when there's demands at work where I know I need to be moving quickly and it's on the horizon, I
Mhm.
need to be like tearing through my calendar and making space.
Yes. Yes.
because otherwise I won't be able to move that quickly. So I'm wondering, does that happen with you? And then like where kind of places do you go?
Yeah. In desperation, sometimes I'll clear my whole calendar and just be like, I have to not do anything for anyone else but this. Like, I won't be like, we can't climb this mountain unless I have some mental space.
Mm,
So definitely do that. Also, just like being gentle with yourself. Like I've learned so much. Like when you grind on like a like problem to solve, you don't get there. It's like the relax, like take a nap, take a shower, eat some food, take a walk, like, and then it unlocks itself. So I have to remind
mhm.
myself to do that because I am kind of a grinder. I'm like I'll just go in and burrow into a problem. But I think the reflection, I don't need a book a lot of I really just need my own thoughts to process
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
and kind of come to the realizations. I think because I am so intuitive that I have to spend time putting all the pieces together because it's all these signals that I'm reading. And sometimes I'm like, wait, I read it this way. What if it meant this? And I have to go back and kind of like reprocess
Oh
things
yeah.
to kind of know this is where we need to go. And also as a leader, you're always being told what you want to hear. So much of it is like deciphering what is the truth here? What is really going on? Because this person's shiny and happy, and this person,
Yeah, totally, totally.
yet there's a war, and these people don't get along, and everything is falling to shit. And they're like, it's fine. And you're like, well, both of you are lying. I just don't know how much and who's lying more. So, like, I just, it's like I've got to kind of do my own sleuthing mentally and try to figure out what the root
Oh.
is. So I don't know, but yeah, this is fun. Fun to talk about this real stuff.
Do your kids know what you actually do all day?
No, and they're not interested. I mean, your son might be interested in what I do, but my kids are definitely not. They're just
Wow.
I'm the person that unlocks the screen time passcode, and that's my main role in life, or dishes out Apple Cash. Like during the day,
Oh
that
my gosh, that's so awesome.
I'm like, "Oh, please, CMO, I'm sorry, screen time passcode. How many more hours do you want? Okay, got it. All right, let me back to you. Like it's just like
Wow.
so, and especially as a single mom, there's no
Oh yeah.
other person to do it.
No, totally. It's
So
like it's
you're
coming
on
to you for sure.
okay. I really do mean hold, please. Like, I'm gonna melt if I don't do this. So, anyway.
A little bit about work because I heard you say something that I found very interesting because my usage of Pinterest has been what I think people thought about Pinterest a long time ago versus
Yeah.
right now. But I heard you talking about something that just kind of struck me. And in my world, I kind of move through the world and I consume a lot of things, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
not everything hits me like light. I call them lightning strikes. There's
Uh-huh.
time where it's like, oh, lightning just struck. Whoa, what was that? And then I'm like, oh, what was that? I need to like investigate and find out more and blah, blah. And lightning struck when you said that there's a generation of people that are
Yeah.
actually engaging in who am I type of self-discovery on platform.
Yes. Yes. Fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, whoa, lightning just struck. I need to hear a little bit more about that
Yes.
because and I also kind of felt like I need to be brought into the modern era about Pinterest a
Right.
little bit.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. I mean, you could start with the fact that Gen Z is okay. So Gen Z is, I think, 13 to about 28 right now in
Okay.
terms of age range. So if you remember those years, the only question is, who am I? That's
Mhm.
the only
Mhm.
overriding. It's 100% your identity formation. Who do I like? Who do I want to be? What's fashionable? What's not? What's cool? What music do I like? All those things.
Yep.
And, they're because nothing is printed anymore, they're not cutting things out of magazines. They're not
Right.
physically touching things and saying, I'm going to go vintage shopping here. And then I'm going to take this article from Sassy and I'm going to, like we kind of made our identities in an analog way and
Mhm.
they're doing it digitally. So they're essentially doing collections. Like Pinterest boards are more collections of a mood for them. Like,
Okay.
like blah, whatever. Like they're feelings. They're boards that are feelings. There are boards that are colors. There are boards that are Taylor Swift. There's boards that are, I'm into this sports team. Kobe Bryant's baby pictures, whatever they are, like
Sure.
they're not, because it's such a huge visual corpus, anything they're interested in, they can kind of collect all the things around it. And I would say the number one thing they're doing is using it as a device to put a marker on where they want to be. So vision boards are like number one. Like they go there to make vision boards. And
Wow.
actually, I'm hearing this up until probably mid-30s that people are doing this.
Wow.
I was just on an interview earlier this morning. I was interviewing someone for a role, and she was talking about her vision board. And I hear it more and more and more and more. And it's, I mean, I had an Academy Award winning director who, or Emmy Award winning director, who used a vision board when she was just getting started on Pinterest. And an Emmy was part of her vision board, and she ended up winning one. And so they're
Wow.
finding, like, by putting it there, that it helps them anchor to where they wanna go. I mean, it's kinda like writing down your list of
Sure.
who,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah. It's a
whatever.
different medium.
It's a different medium, so they're not, like, redoing bathrooms on it.
Right. No,
It's
totally,
you know, like, if
totally.
we were, like, task-based, like, I'm gonna build a garden shed, and so here's my Pinterest board, and it was
Right.
very, like, A to B, and they're much more, I think with also the context, they're so digitally savvy that Pinterest is this, like, safe space, it's an oasis. There isn't a lot of, there's no, like, there's commenting, but it's not like any other platform. It's
Right.
not a bunch of trolling.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
really
right.
go there to be in their own world, be alone, and kind of spend the time. A lot of them have private boards, and they try things. They see what they're interested in, and they're not doing it, it's not performative. It's not like,
Mm.
I mean, some people obviously are, they can't help themselves, but I think in general, it's like, a deep dive into oneself, which they can't do anywhere else safely. Other than, a lot of Gen Z uses the Notes app like crazy, right? Because they're kind of journaling and using it as diary,
Oh,
which is also something we didn't do. I use Notes app to be like, here's my passwords or whatever. Like,
totally. Which you probably should not be doing.
oh, I know. I'm like, gotta break that. But anyway, but like boring shit, my grocery list, and they're they're just using the technology in a way that suits where they are right now. And so when I came to Pinterest, I was like, "Oof, this is gonna be tough. Like, how do I make this relevant again?" And luckily, I didn't have to do all the work. I just had to basically, they're coming in, they're finding it again, and I basically just built on the momentum that was already starting. And I
wow.
realized we had to completely reset our marketing. Like our marketing was all about, Gen X is very fearful of creativity in general. Like we're not, but like Gen
Sure.
X is like, oh, I'm not an artist, I'm not cool, so much self-doubt. And Gen Z is like, I'm here, I'm awesome, like love me not, but I'm here and I'm creative. And so they just approach the world differently. And so getting into that like mindset has been really fun, totally different brief.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
When I learn about generations, like I can't help but kind of think like my kid at some point is going to be tacked on to one of these, right?
Yeah.
Um, and it actually makes me worry, but you actually gave me some hope. You said, why aren't young people in leadership roles? Like,
Hmm.
why aren't we just pulling them up and allowing them to like, it
Yeah.
seems like, like
Yeah.
C-suite power management is like so concentrated in very specific demographics. And like I come in the wealth management world, right? Wealth management world is like where the last bastions of like middle-aged straight white dudes exist. Right? Like
Don't I know it? Yes.
no, totally. And I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay here. Like I have a husband, yeah, we have a son, but like my world does not look like yours.
Right. Right.
Um, but I loved hearing you say, because like I don't have a lot of experience really hiring young people because
Yeah.
my business almost well, and maybe I should challenge myself. Like it feels as though like people need to get wealth management a little bit more, but then there's also the flip side, which is like, well, maybe we should crack this thing open anyway because it's
Right.
like ripe for disruption.
It is ripe for disruption. I mean, absolutely.
It is.
Because someone's gonna do it and make a shit ton of money disrupt. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
let's talk about that for a minute then.
Yeah.
If you're designing a wealth management firm of the future,
Yeah.
what might it look like? This
Right.
business's currency is trust.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like does it really exist?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean,
Well, I
I
agree. I
really
agree.
I well, it's the whole financial industry is the old boys club, and that's the horrible.
Still,
It's still the problem, and
still.
it's also like, it's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. You use a lot of big terms, but they're really, at the end of the day, it's real simple. Compound annual growth rate.
Yes.
Like, come on. It's like when I took over managing my own money, I made so much more because I was truly invested in my investments. I read everything about the companies. I bet on Nvidia at $45 a share. Like, I loved it. And we've talked about this. You're like, I don't really want to do it. And I love doing, I think, because it was so empowering to see money grow that had been stalemated for so long.
For sure. For sure. I
And
get
like,
that.
you know, I think it just, well, here's one thought that I have is came back from this trip to Australia, and I'd been around a lot of really, well-paid, high-powered women. And I was, at these dinners, and I would talk about, this is my new, like, 2-year obsession in investing, right? So it's very new. And so I'm talking about it like in kindergarten. I'm like, oh my God. Like, did you guys hear that latest podcast? Like, no. Or what? You're a creative director? Like, why are you even talking? You're probably full of shit. And I'm like, no, like, I'm really not. Like, I'm learning. So, but I found that so many women, especially, like, just are so uncomfortable, and they've delegated their wealth management to their, old white firm or whatever. And they're not, they've decided that they will not know about it. It's like they've made put the mental wall up,
Yep.
like, that is not what I'm gonna do. And I'm like, you're really smart. Like, if I had to tell myself based on desperation, I have to figure this out because there's no one that's gonna figure this out but me, and unless I wanna pay crazy amounts of fees. I have to understand this is my future. This is my ability to retire. Like, I don't wanna work till I'm 100 years old. Like, I'm
No.
good. I really desperately wanna spend time with my children.
There's a part of me that's like, okay, if I can get the right kind of balance I want, I've got, I think, 10 years in me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I will also say, like,
Yeah.
I have ideas about producing content and
Great.
shows, and there's like things I want to do.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
maybe
that's
it's not
I
10
wanna
years.
start
Maybe I just
another
start
business.
doing shit like that.
I wanna start businesses. Like, I wanna be a
Yeah.
sole proprietor. Like, I wanna be able to spend a couple years growing a business, starting a business, buying a business, whatever it is, um, and running things on my own terms. Like, I feel like I've learned so much, and I wanna do that.
And what kind of businesses like
Yeah.
spark your curiosity?
Well, I actually, funny enough, it is something to do with wealth management or investing with women. And
Oh
I
my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, because I'm really interested in it. Because I was like, how do I use the name that I have in this industry to connect with women who I think are like fearful or feel like they're out of their depth, and I can tell them how I did it, and I'm doing it. Not that I've like arrived on some mountaintop, but I'm
Sure.
certainly figuring it out. And so, is there sort of an authenticity? I mean, I'm certainly not a financial advisor or certificate or degree or anything there, but I would love to build
It's
a
also not
community.
rocket science, as you know.
Right, it's not rocket science, and I think a lot of it is branding, and like you said, like, how do you disrupt this?
That's
Is
right.
it text-based? Is it much more cracked open where it's less of like, "Come into our office, we will give you a PowerPoint." It's more like, "Well, I need you in this moment when I'm negotiating the salary, and I need you to be on text, and I need you to not charge me $150 an hour." Whatever, like, I
That's right.
don't I don't know everything about how the structures are, but more educational, more explaining, less like, "Do you know what that term is?" Like, "Do you know
Yeah.
what APR," like, "Do you know all these things?" Because a lot of people, they stop asking questions because 'cause they're fearful that they should know by now. Like, and that's the problem. Like, you stop learning because you're like, "Well, like, I'm really smart, but I don't know any of
Don't know
that."
that. Yeah.
And it takes a while, but I think it should be much more education based. Unless ivory tower, unless like, we're gonna stay over here and make you feel like you need us,
Yeah.
and they'll need you because they wanna know, but they don't have anyone inviting them in. There's the branding of it, I think, could be better.
Oh
I mean, you
gosh.
could almost go like
So much better.
what Liquid Death did to water.
I
Like,
heard you talk about that the other day. It's genius.
right? I mean, they're just
Yes. Yeah.
incredible. And it's like,
Yeah.
that was Evian. Everything was blue and
Yeah.
waterfalls.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
There's that for wealth management and women
Uh-huh.
and, like, reaching a whole demographic of people who are their women are buying more houses than single men. Like, they're coming up. They're now in C-suites everywhere. They're here.
Totally.
Well, they're not going anywhere. And we've got money to spend and money to
Yeah.
save and money to invest.
Yeah. 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 So
Mm.
it's so interesting. Like there's I've had clients or potential clients, I should say, like come to me or just folks that I know in the industry and they're just like, "Yeah, David, what do you think? We want to build out a women in wealth program or a blah
Mm.
blah blah blah." And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
please like tell me more about it." And then they share more about it, right? And then I just kind of politely tell them like, "I don't want to market to genitalia."
Uh,
Like,
right.
no, but I say that to them because these are male dominated still,
Yeah.
male controlled firms
Right.
that want to create a niche around
Right.
women's
Right.
private parts. And I'm like,
Right.
no, what do you know about this?
No, exactly. Exactly. But it has to be more bottoms up. It's not like you can attach it because like people used to call me for jobs and they'd be like, "Well, we're looking for a woman for this role." Now they can't say that anymore.
Right.
But like, 10 years ago, that was all the calls I got. "We need a female CCO." And I'm like, "Tell me why." Like, give me, well, we have Playtex. You're like, "Well, I don't want to work on that. So thank you very much.
Well,
No."
yeah, thank you so much.
Like, oh. And then they did like a girl. And I'm like, "God damn it. I wasn't there." Um, like, no, no, uh, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know what I don't know, but I'm just interested in, like, how do you get these people who have money and want to invest and have divorced it from their day-to-day, how do you get them in the conversation and more empowered? And maybe it's just a group or, I don't know. But there's something there I'm interested in. I don't know what it is, but
Okay, when you go down that path, call me.
oh, what? You're the first call.
Like, call me.
Yeah,
Because like, yeah, I'm very interested in what the future of the industry looks like. And like you, I agree. I literally think the wealth management firm of the future, I think will be more closer aligned to like a media company that's like
yeah.
creating like multimedia formats, but all educational and it
Yes.
doesn't cost a thing. Like
Yes.
just boom. And
Love
then
that.
let the brand and the attraction work
Yes.
for you.
Exactly. And then you can build that into a fund or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Like
Yes.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I also think there's going to be a return. There's like even in wealth management, like right now, digital's all the rage.
Mhm.
And I benefit from that and I'm happy to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm starting to make recommendations to folks that like, hey, you know what? People are missing. People are becoming more insulated all the time.
Mm.
People are more lonelier than they ever have been. Part of that is from using digital devices too much. I see it
Yeah.
with myself. If I'm on Insta too much, I don't feel good.
No, I
If
know.
I'm on LinkedIn too often, I
Yeah.
feel like a loser. Like
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like a loser, and I'm
I
just like,
know.
why is everyone so successful, and
No.
I feel like a loser. Like this
Yeah.
is not okay.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be a return to in person, but like radically different than what the wealth management industry's ever seen, which was like, oh, show up for a fucking steak dinner
Right,
and
right.
like we'll do this little dog and pony bullshit show
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Rosewood on,
Right.
Sand Hill Road and like
Right.
road and like, well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. What I mean is
Yeah.
Jeffersonian style conversations around an amazing dinner with 14 people.
Yes.
Every single person has a seat. Like you
Yes.
created numbered invitations, which is that
Yeah.
are done on letterpress, which is to say, like, you know what?
Like,
This
yeah.
invitation has a number. You
Yeah.
clear your calendar for the
Yeah.
event. It's not
Yeah.
just a RSVP, yes, please.
Yeah.
Where you get to say no. It's like, no, there's a seat for you at this table happening on
Yes.
this day and this time. You
I
better
love
be there.
I love that.
And I used to do these dinners. I called them What Matters Most dinners when I was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And we would change the venue. But one time, which was like, it literally gave me goosebumps because The one thing that I felt like I lost when I lost my connection to the Mormon church was like a sense of community. Like that's all I
Uh-huh.
knew.
Yes.
And when I was in San Francisco, I was like, I'm going to recreate some sense of community around what matters most. And so I did this like 8 hour all day offsite with two friends, but also creatives. And I went to their place on top of Mount Tam.
Yeah.
We had a whole day kind of sitting above, the clouds, right? The
Yeah.
fog. And we were just like getting clarity on what I wanted to bring into the world. And we wound up doing this 4-part dinner series, different people. But
Uh-huh.
then we sourced here. I have one of the,
Wow.
put it, where
This
did I
is
put
so
it?
cool.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh
Hang
my
on.
God, I love this.
So we did this like, letterpress, like what matters most thing.
Oh,
You're invited, what we're doing.
wow.
And it was like a conversational dinner series exploring the foundational themes of our lives.
Wow.
Right. So it's like we'll explore the importance of community in shaping our identity and culture, controversial communities. We were in San Francisco, so we
Yeah.
talked about it all.
Yeah. I love it.
And why understanding community is critical for our shared future. But one that we did was we did a farm to table inside of an artist. Her studio was in Dogpatch. Her name was Heather Day.
Uh-huh.
And she literally made, on one side was her art. She numbered it and signed each one. And on the other side was like the menu. So it was like at everyone's seat, right? So as you sat down, and then you also had like an artifact. You left this event with an artifact that was actually a piece of her art in your
Wow.
home.
Wow.
And then anytime I see that invitation, I remember who was
Yeah.
at that table. I remember we were doing this farm to table event inside of her studio. So we were surrounded by like her creative process, her workspace,
Wow. That's really
which
special.
felt super special, right? But then as a wealth management firm, who did we put at this table? Well,
Yeah.
guess what? We put some clients,
Yeah.
but literally our jam at my old firm was like all walks of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And so we actually had like a barber at the table who, we weren't sitting down talking about money. We were literally convening around the meaning of food in our lives. Like, where does it come from? Nourishment,
Uh-huh.
knowing and understanding that not everyone is sitting down at a meal like this every night. Like, so a philanthropic kind of, not philanthropic from a she, like how you should spend your money, but
Yeah.
just an acknowledgement that, this kind of goes to my roots, but like, to whom much is given, much is required.
Uh-huh.
Right. And like
Yeah.
understanding that, yes, you work hard to
Yes.
attain some level of success, but like acknowledging the luck and
Yes.
the types of things that come together on your behalf that maybe you weren't in control of all of them.
100%. Yes.
And like being philanthropic can be like with your time. You like resources aren't just monetary, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time, it's money, it's attention. Like where do you like boop, focus on?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if you ever do something like that, we
I
gotta
would
talk.
love to collaborate with you.
Maze balls.
I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
when like, it would be so fun. And
Huh.
you would I mean, you know infinitely more about this space than I do, but it's something that is really interesting. Like, when I went to this dinner last night with these CMOs, and we all had to stand up and talk about, like, what we're passionate about outside of work, and some guy was like, "I snowboard all over the world," all the different interests, and I'm like, "I'm really interested in investing," and people are like, "Wow."
What?
And I'm like, I'm learning this and I'm so fascinated by it. And then, a couple people are like, I need help. I need help. And I'm like, it's just it's an interesting space. And yeah, ripe for disruption. So,
And it's also interesting. Some of them might have had advisors already, and it's like, I need help. I need help.
oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100% because something is not happening.
That's right. I'll bring this back home.
Yeah.
What do you hope your kids remember about you?
I hope they'll understand maybe and remember that I gave it my all in every direction. That no matter what, I gave it my all, whether it was giving it as much as I possibly could to them or giving what I did to my career that I put in the energy, I put in the work. There was
Mhm.
never a day that I was lazy.
Yeah.
So, I hope that takes them that they take that with them, you know. So I don't know, because I think that would be the biggest tool maybe for them to carry forward.
We talked about timing of your next adventure.
Yeah.
How do you know it's time?
I don't know. Again, like reading the tea leaves and also just listening to yourself. Like I'm really tuned into energy levels, um, my kids' faces as they change. My son is about to be like a tween, and I'm like, oh God, like those things are right in front of you. You can't ignore them. He's starting to smell a little bit, and I'm like, oh
Oh
God.
dear.
So, um,
Yeah,
I
I don't
think
know how I'm going to do with that.
I get so excited about stuff. I mean, talking to you, it's like there's so much I want to do, Sarah
Mm.
Blakely is still my idol. Running my own company and starting something is still something on my to-do list.
Oh, very
I
cool.
really want to do that at some point.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
cool. Oh, that's exciting
Yeah,
too.
I really want to. I feel like I would love it, and I'm like, I've learned so much in these corporate environments that I think I could take it with me and do something, disruptive. And I think now that AI is here, all the things that were limiting before, like
Oh
how to
yeah.
set up, all these HR or whatever, all these things, it's like I can read about
Easy.
it. I
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
it.
Got it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
do it myself.
Totally. Yep.
So,
Yep.
no. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you so
thank you.
much. It's so fun to talk to
Yeah.
you.
This is
I
awesome.
like forget we're recording, so
Well,
hopefully
no, I know. I
I don't know what we talked about. This is great though.
know.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. Thank you for listening to Coded in Gold. If you liked this episode, please like, comment, subscribe to help grow this community. You can find all the links to follow the podcast and our amazing guests in the show notes. Next episode, I'll be chatting with Larissa Xanthe, a coach who specializes in talking about power and leadership. You won't want to miss it. Thank you and take good care.